It's your boy, Eric, and my boy, Lyman.
Yep.
And we are here. Restaurant 360 podcast, episode 4. Number 4. Guest number 3. A very, very good friend of mine. Ex-employee. The crowd goes wild. Ex-employee. Now in the crypto game. He's going to make me my first million.
Are we always going to be off by one guest to episode?
Every time.
It'll be like our thing.
Well, until there's 2.
Episode 100, guest 99.
Until there's 2.
You got to do it back to back.
Some people can see Ruben, and you can see that beautiful lock. Look at his beautiful locks, him and Lyman. Beautiful locks of hair.
I can't.
Do I need to go back into makeup to get the shine off?
You do.
That's it.
Dude, Ruben, thanks for coming out and
Just
talking
make
to
sure
us.
you get right up on that microphone,
Thank
buddy.
you
There
for
go.
having me.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. So, you're a big Chop Live fan. So when we parted ways a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
So yeah, about 2 years ago.
Give me a date. It was warm out.
It was warm out. I was on the deck. I remember it being a year and a half ago.
What are we at now? So it wasn't last
January.
year. It was the year before, like at the end of when everyone was bugging out about the pandemic.
Yeah, a little
August,
end of
right?
August,
End of August.
September.
2020.
2020 vision.
And instead of leaving and going to another restaurant, you changed your life.
Literally.
Literally, his whole life. Before we get to that, I want to take it way back to when you started in the kitchen.
Started flipping burgers.
Maybe you're having a couple drinks back in those days.
A couple.
A couple drinks, maybe some
This
other
room wouldn't have been here.
some other extracurriculars.
I mean, isn't that everybody back in the day?
I agree.
We just talked about it the other day with Mr. James Hamble about
It
my
is what it
partying ways. Yes, I was a maniac.
So
And you got the tail end of it.
yeah,
The
so
very tail end.
end. What got you into? Why did you go towards restaurants?
I actually had a good friend, Chris Sheehan, who was a chef, New York City, Dumbo, Brooklyn, New York. And, going from the street game to your life is you're 21 when was I? No, 18 or something like that. And you need to get something. You need a paper. You need that check. And he's like, come in. You could be a dishwasher. I said, all right, in a couple hours, whatever it is. I came in the first day. And the chef turns to me. He goes, all right, jump on fryer. I said, I thought I was washing dishes. Like, what's going on here? I mean, I've cooked at home, obviously.
Sure.
Everybody's made omelets and stuff like that. But, yeah, Pub 1, Brooklyn, New York. This was, I don't even know the date. 10, 15 years ago, something like that.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, way early.
Right.
And
That's where it started.
Yeah.
And then you started realizing, wow, there's some cool people in here. I can still drink and party as hard as I want
I mean,
to.
sometimes it went from all day, all night into the kitchen. It was wild back then.
I'm going to say that all 4 of us...
All 4 of us.
Wait a second. Lyman is seeing people.
Don't
Are
worry.
you seeing ghosts?
Don't worry.
Heard. Well,
They're real.
Okay.
I'm going to assume all 3 of us. I was skipping ahead to 24/7. My numbers got jumbled up. That's what happens when you party too much. I'm going to
cells
assume
are
that all
gone.
3 of us have done 24-hour shifts, 36-hour shifts where you just go. You don't go
Just
to sleep,
go,
right?
yeah.
You just stay up.
Oh,
At
I've
a certain point, you're like, just clock in again.
Yeah, you're sitting there
I
during
puke
the
behind the
shift,
bar,
and you're like, "Oh, I hate my life." I'm not
even
drinking
clock?
ever
I'm never
again.
going to do this. I'm never going to do
As
this.
soon as that you clock out. You want to go to the bar? Yeah, sure. Well, one drink, and one drink turns into it's 4:00 in the morning already.
And that's literally every day, right? I mean, isn't this back in the day in this industry?
city.
That's what it was like.
But in the city, the bars are open till 5, 6 in the morning.
No
at that
driving.
time.
You don't have to drive.
You don't drive, and that was the lifestyle. I mean, now you can't do that because of the
Right.
pandemic, but that was the lifestyle, and everybody did it. Everybody in the restaurant game, it was a bunch of addicts and alcoholics.
Sure.
And that's
So you were obviously you were hustling
yeah.
and realized, I need like real.
I mean,
need
it was
I
going
can't
out
just
with
be
a girl for 9 years at the time, and it got to we got to get serious. You know, we want a family. It got serious real quick, and I needed to get something. And, you know, my friend said, oh, I got a dishwasher position
And that's
open.
and there it was.
Boom. There it was. Dishwashing turned into the first 5 minutes. Oh, you're a fry cook. I said, okay.
What brought you to the Poconos? How do you leave?
Congratulations, you just got promoted.
Yeah, first 5 minutes. It's a pay raise? No, you still make $10 an hour.
No. Well, 10 back
10
then
back
would
then
have been
was
good.
pretty
good.
It wasn't 10.
Damn.
No,
Oh, maybe
it was-
in Brooklyn. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
I bet it was 10 bucks.
Maybe.
It was 10.
Hell yeah,
I
it
was
was.
going to dishwash for $10 an hour. Said, you have no experience. I said, no, you know, I cooked obviously my grandmother and stuff like that, and $10 an hour.
What brought you to Poconos?
My parents moved out here 5 years before me, and you know, it's the city lifestyle. You know, catches up to you, especially getting older. Catches up to you, and you know, just wanted to be closer to the family. I had, you know, no real family back in the city. My grandmother left. My grandfather, God bless his soul, left us, and just came closer. You know, and seen the
And you
mountains.
were kind of restaurant to restaurant, so you knew when you.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about this industry,
when I came out here, I was probably on my 8th restaurant already.
right? And you can when you would get in the game, restaurant game, you can work
you're
anywhere.
Going, anywhere.
Well, as long as you don't fully burn your bridges, then yes, you can go, you know. Yeah, if someone called me today and said, hey, I got this guy, Ruben Lopez. He wants to work for me. I'd say, yeah, he's great. He did great.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end, we parted ways for, you know, whatever reasons, but I would still say yes. And there's a lot of people. There are some people
I would
that
say.
have worked. I would say
Hell,
absolutely
no.
not.
And because you know it's against the law, obviously,
Yeah,
to
you
say
can't say anything.
but you can
Would you
definitely say
rehire 'em?
they are non-rehireable.
Yeah, would you hire them?
If you ever hear
could
that.
say,
I always
no.
wondered how that came to life. Like,
No, it's I don't know, because it's hearsay at that point. If you say, well,
Is
what
that
was
slander in a name?
Yeah,
That's
slander.
right,
What was
right.
wrong? What was wrong with them? Oh, well, they sucked. They never showed up to work.
Prove it.
You know,
I gotta say,
right?
prove it.
Sure,
right.
yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. And I guess if you have like massive amounts of paperwork and stuff, you can. But so yeah, if you stay in it and just continue to move around, which a lot of people do, you can do that. You can have a job anywhere in the world. You can continue to work anywhere in this industry.
I mean, luckily out here, there's so many restaurants, and at that time, now it's, you know, mom and pop places are burning.
All the restaurants you worked in the Poconos, which one sucked the most?
Frogtown China.
Yeah.
Yes, there had to be one. Can you blow up the spot?
I mean,
you're
they're
like,
closed today. So
yeah, you're like, yeah.
I mean, Tannersville Inn is just because it was so old and outdated.
it was
Yeah,
just
that place
brutal.
is old.
Yeah.
Oh, there's doing something there.
Are they?
Guess
Yeah.
there's talk of a Wawa.
Oh, that's so sad. That building, you know,
That's
it is
the word on the
historical.
street is a Wawa. A lot of people are happy about that. A lot of people love something about Wawa.
Them Wawa sandwiches hit different.
I guess.
See,
but
there you
I
go.
mean, I don't
That's
know.
the key.
I don't know, dude.
So Tannersville.
I'd rather see a
you
Tannersville
see,
Inn revamped.
you
but-
see, you're still in the restaurant game. Now that I'm out of the game, I appreciate fast food places like that, because, you know, not all the time I want to sit down and have, you know, you can make whatever you want at any point.
right.
If I'm in my house, you know, I want a sandwich. I can't, you know, if I don't have it in my kitchen, I got to go somewhere.
Right.
I'm not going to the supermarket to buy everything I need to make a sandwich. No, because I only want it once.
Right.
You
So
ever,
Wawa, got it.
you ever knock an employee
Wawa is
at
great.
work? You ever knock?
Oh yeah,
employee out?
that's happened.
Tell me about it.
That's happened. You know, like we were talking about, you know,
Right.
your night becomes your morning, and you know, you might have a couple at shift, and you know,
A couple.
We know it gets hot and heavy in the kitchen sometimes, and, you know, attitudes flare, and someone might say something, and he said something that day, and it just said, "Nah, it's not working." You know, I took a slip first. You know, the non-slip shoes weren't working that day.
So,
And
so you guys are. Is shift happening? There's like tickets.
Oh yeah, it's mid shift.
So he's talking. He says something, and you turn to him and you throw one.
Yeah, it's.
you-
I'm like,
and you slip while you're throwing it.
Slipped, got to him, and you know the chef's already around the line. Like, no, not right now.
Oh, gee. Did you get up and continue to work? the
Oh
shift?
yeah, he go outside, have a cigarette real quick. He jumped on the line, and You know, but it happens. We know. We've been in the game for how long, and you know, attitudes happen in the kitchen. You know, people say things in the kitchen, and if you, especially our age, we know, yeah, you got to keep going, especially in that business.
The power of the go outside and smoke a cigarette is pretty amazing.
Oh, it's life changing, especially in those moments.
I've sent a lot of people out to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, it's this whole thing. I don't smoke anymore. I stopped smoking years ago.
Disclaimer for everyone watching and listening: Ruben and I were as close as you come to fighting without fighting one night.
Oh, I'm sure one night. Sure.
No, just the one.
Just
just the one night.
Yeah, what was it? Do you remember the storyline? I don't remember that. Heated.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to rehash it. No, it was stupid bullshit.
Of course it always.
Yeah, but that's how it starts.
I probably said something, you know. But let's also. I want to put it in context as well. It was
pre-pandemic or
no, fully in the middle of the pandemic.
And that's probably what it was. We were all stressed out at that time.
Me, you, and Jish were all extremely stressed out. We were all working every day.
Every second. It was only four of us, right?
You were starting to develop your new career, so you were really sort of stretching yourself a little thin. Opinion. You showed up to work every day. Late, but that's it.
Yo, but he showed up. What the fuck?
That's all that matters.
Yeah, there's no late.
But so that was it. It was, I probably said something, and he either misheard me or didn't like what I had to say, and he said something back, and I said, can't talk to me that way. And he said, well, you can't fucking talk to me that way. I said, well, I guess we're talking to each other that way. And he said, well, what are we going to do about it? I said, I don't know. I guess we could step outside.
You know, it's crazy. I don't even remember it.
And he said, I guess we can step outside. And then, I don't know, probably said something like, well, I don't know. I guess we could just stay in here and eat a cheeseburger too. And he said, all right, fine. Well, fuck you. And we moved on.
Actually, I do. I think Eric told me to go smoke a cigarette probably.
I probably said my thing was probably, go smoke a cigarette.
And right, if it'd be different if it was like, oh, Ruben said something about your mom. Oh, well, that's like simple. Like, who even knows what it was? Hey, man, that
you dropped the fry. They aren't fried enough. No, they're good. No, they're not. I can't imagine that being it.
So something like that, or hey, this table is like at 15 minutes now. Well, I'm busting my ass. I was like, whoa, dude, I'm just asking him to take it. Well, fuck you. And I said, fuck you. What? Wait, you can't talk to me like that. You can't talk to me that way.
Yeah, that
who knows what it was?
Time was, and that's why I'm at where I'm at because of that time, because it was not fun. Like
it was crazy. It was scary.
Yeah.
Because it was the first time in our lives our industry was shut down. Hey, this could actually go away.
Super stressful. I mean, we went through it together. I don't know if we went through it together great or not, but we at least continued to support each other. We at least continued to make money, all of us. Right.
There was no blueprint for it, so we didn't know how to get through it.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was extremely stressful. I never dealt with anxiety like that. I mean, I think, people saw me cry. Oh, yeah. I think all of us had our real big breakdowns, even the most positive ones, like Eric.
My mom was dying. Yeah. I was like, holy mackerel.
Someone like Jish, who was always positive, had some days when he came in, he's like, dude, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, we were stretched of everything.
It was weird because you couldn't afford anything. Yeah, I mean, it was wild.
Right. And there were some nights where you're just sitting around, and that's stressful too. I mean, to be in a kitchen. It's like being on a basketball court without any basketball. It's like, all right,
so here we are
walking around,
do.
Yeah, doing nothing.
There's no cleaning because everything was just spot. I mean, you didn't. It was just you and Jish.
The pandemic time, we were like, oh, we don't want to catch everything, so everything was spotless all the time.
Spotless. So. Did you get COVID?
No,
you didn't get the vid.
No,
you've never gotten COVID yet.
Never. Even with the scares that we had,
Have you gotten sick and not tested?
Nope.
No sick.
No sick. And I was always. Can I smell? Like, can I taste?
Vaccinated? Not vaccinated.
Vaccinated.
I got it
because no, I'm going now for the booster.
Wow.
Do you know what your blood type is?
You want my social too?
Nah, I can't do anything with someone's blood type.
That's one. Does that matter for the?
Some
people are saying that O positive is.
But I'm O positive.
My wife.
Oh, I'm O negative. Like I'm that rare. The one that you could do for both.
You do know that for a fact? Yeah, O negative is pretty rare. I think there's one.
Is O negative the universal?
Positive or something?
Does that mean you can give it to anybody?
I can give blood to
anybody, but only you can only get.
I can only get O negative, right?
Yo, imagine figuring that shit out.
Yeah, how do you even figure out what type?
The first time they were like, "Yo, give him blood."
Like, oh, well, that didn't work.
I mean,
try a different
I
button.
imagine it's the same thing when they were going through COVID. Like, oh, look at that little guy swimming in there. That's, COVID.
Gotta be right. And it may be the Monster, and if we're watching this on YouTube, he has a Monster energy drink. Maybe that could be the secret. Because I bet you drink a shit ton of those, don't you?
Cases.
Do you really?
A day, yeah.
How many of those
And
do you drink a day?
it's not even for, to stay up. It's the flavor. Like, I drink
You just
water.
love it.
You're
Monster.
just
It's-
addicted to it
Addicted
now.
to it. Well, because
Can I see? These things bug me out.
They're kind
It's
of
horrible
Monster
for you.
drinks?
It's horrible.
But you don't. You are sober. You don't drink
Yeah,
anymore.
dude, I still haven't.
How long have you been sober?
I mean, sober, like not getting drunk,
Right.
Because there was times that
You had a
we
beer
had
or whatever.
cognac, and I, me, Jish, and Britt would go out, and I wouldn't even finish my beer.
Right. Totally. And
And this is going on 4 years now, 3 years now.
wow, was there a point where you were like one day like, dude, I gotta
It's
stop?
yeah, and it's not even I had to stop. Like I just woke up and it didn't happen, which I'm grateful for because a lot of people get sick, and it get depressed and anxiety. A lot of things come from alcoholism and it's bad.
So yours was a day-to-day thing. You said you woke up one morning and said, I'm fucking done
Yeah.
drinking, and stopped it.
And stopped.
No AA,
No AA, no
sponsors, yeah.
no sponsors.
And there wasn't a thing that led up to it. It was just, dude, I'm done.
It
I realized I'm drinking too much.
Yeah. Well,
Are you a weed smoker?
no. Well, I used to be back when I
Yeah, like I don't know if everything we did, right?
no.
No.
No, I don't think
We-
you were sober here,
No,
correct?
yeah. No, yeah.
You were. Yeah, I never
very
saw you.
sober.
Yeah, I never saw you partying.
Cigarettes.
Even when I joked about it, long day pandemic, you wouldn't let me have
No,
it.
I was like,
Remember?
hell no.
You
I wasn't going to be the guy to get thrust you back into your ways.
And
Well,
at that
we
time,
were also leaving at like 7 every night too. It was
Yeah, it was-
crazy.
that
God, it
sucked.
was such a
Oh
different.
no, I think I did drink one time.
Did you have
here.
one beer? I remember seeing you drink one beer.
I think I did get drunk one time here, but that one and done. Like I didn't. But I was
Just, dude,
thinking
which is so amazing. Because I know many.
from what I came from to now is like, and I'm sure all my friends that are gonna be watching this that I send it to, they're like, oh yeah, he's big changes, big
from.
from when when I was drinking all the time to
So what were you, a piece of shit or what? What were we talking?
oh
about?
yeah,
Just a total.
your life depends on where your attitude in life depends on what's going on, and especially when you're drinking, it's just everything comes out. Like we were saying back in
No
the day,
filter.
that was the game. Like, we went from working to drinking to working to drink, like especially at that time in New York City, like
Right.
everybody.
And,
did.
and by the way, that's only very few industries. This one being the biggest, I believe.
what other industry? Oh,
You can movie, film,
actors.
film
Yeah, I
and
was just
TV,
saying.
To do what?
party. And it's like a way of continue. It's okay. Well, it is. It just is what we did.
It's
I mean,
accepted. It's not okay. It's
I
accepted.
worked. I'm going to say that I've. Well, I can't quantify it, but I worked many hours intoxicated.
Oh yeah, me too.
A lot of work was done while I was not sober.
And bottom line is, because I've said this, oh, dude, I'm fine at 4 or 5. Dude, you are not better when you're on a substance.
No.
And I argue with
No,
the
I got
young
the job
bucks.
done. I got the job done. I always got the
I'm
job
not saying
done.
didn't, as I'm sure you did. Me too. But there's no way you're doing a good. I deal with this with some team. I have to be high all the time. I'm like, no, you actually don't. And no, you do not work better. It doesn't work. I'm sorry to say that. That is the fact.
It's not the answer. It's not the cure.
No, absolutely not. I used to have to. Yeah, I used to make rules when I could drink. When I was in New York, I would never drink before 2, ever. 2
Then it
a.m.
started at 1.
a.m.
Oh, a.m.
No, and I kept that because I knew if I didn't give myself that, we were accepted to drink. I could drink it, dude. At trash, I could drink it anytime I wanted. I could walk in and start drinking as long as your money was right at the end of the night. You partied. But I had it, dude. I can't do that.
Bad. Now that you're saying that, I'm like having memories back, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god, 7 a.m. 8 a.m. You're waking up, and that
Sometimes
Look at my
8 a.m.
stomach
you're
hurts right
walking
now.
out of the bar, some bar, a bar, and you're walking
yeah.
out, and like, damn, and the
Hey,
sun's out.
keeping it 100. I went out last night. I had too many last night. I'm struggling a little. I struggled a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sarah Street and then Mementos. But yeah, it's definitely
Do you
overserved.
feel the difference now, like
Oh, I
from when
do.
you were 20 or
Oh,
18?
buddy. It's brutal. Yeah,
Takes
I
a lot
do
more
feel
hours,
different.
huh?
We had to change here when Eric and I started in 2013 to probably about 2016-ish. I used to start at 6:30.
In the morning?
No.
Oh,
night.
drinking.
Yeah,
Drinking. I thought you meant like working. I'm like, 6:30
No,
in the morning,
6:30 at
Jesus.
night drinking, and Eric and I, we finally came to the conclusion that we needed a 8:30 start time.
Yes,
Kind of push that
it
back
had
a
to
little
switch
Yeah, and then
up.
2018 I stopped drinking.
Yep. Then yeah, but it is funny to see Lyman is the one hysterical thing is talk about seeing how much it affects him differently. This guy drinks one night and can't drink for like 8 months.
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, he wakes
I
up.
hate it.
Dude, I hear it in his voice,
hate it.
and
Just
I love
hating
seeing
life.
it, but it's like, oh, dude, don't do that.
Yeah,
to yourself.
I only do it when I know it's like it's worth it. Like I go for it and it's worth it. That's it. It's
Do you
once-
miss
once a
any
month,
part
maybe.
of partying, the drug game, the
See,
drinking game?
it just got, at the end, it got too much. Like, and some people don't realize it. Some people, and that's
the problem is recognition.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that was the
happen.
crossover. At the end, it was just too much.
You probably burned bridges. You probably
Bridges.
treated people like shit.
Bridges, mountains. This mountain, like, got burnt, almost burnt, from it. And it just, it's either I was going to move and, start a new life.
or keep
or
the same pattern,
keep
or
the
fucking
same-
moving,
Yeah.
do it there, and you.
Or, try to rebuild what I have here, or, and it just led up to, being sober.
Wow.
All right, grossest kitchen story.
It's crazy. I was listening to the podcast. I guess it was the new one you have, and
Yep.
And he did. I guess he didn't want to say.
Oh, did he not? Yo, it was so funny. Shout out to Jim. Lyman threw that question at him, and he gave the most. I mean, he might as well be running for the president. I mean,
Which
he gave.
question?
What have you ever walked? Because I said to him, I said, have you ever walked into a kitchen, ready to film a
You
show,
wouldn't eat there or something.
and you're like, dude, I'm not fucking eating
Can
this.
you imagine how uncomfortable?
And
You're
he
all-
totally kept it 100. Ruben, I'm thinking he's going to tell us.
But can you imagine the production's all set up, the lights are up, and then you're like kind of moving around the kitchen, see like a dead mouse in the corner or something, or like some like mouse shit on the counter,
Yeah,
and
like
all of
the
a sudden they're like,
chicken
oh, here,
suspect.
try our food, and you got to be like,
That's not pepper grains there.
is that burnt rice?
Oh,
Can you imagine like how uncomfortable it's
It's very uncomfortable.
All right,
Yeah, I bet you've
seen it.
because I have a gross kitchen story too. So
How gross?
whatever you want, bud.
I mean, I've seen people get sick in kitchens, talk about drinking too much, they're sitting there and something splatters on the floor, but it's never with the food. I mean,
Oh, so you're talking
Right.
people just puking right on the ground.
oh yeah, it's
I don't know
back
if I've
then it
ever
was
seen anyone
crazy.
puke in the
It was
kitchen.
crazy.
So here, I'll give you mine real quick, and then maybe this will incite a thought for you. So this was at the Waterfront Tavern, which is no longer there, burnt to the ground, unfortunately, in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, right out by State College. The first restaurant I worked at is where I was mentored. Anyway, so one of the managers was like, "Oh, we're gonna make fresh chips." For whatever, we're going to run a sandwich and have fresh chips. Here, this is how you do it. And he walked over.
Pause. I used to hate the chips. Making chips here.
Yeah, we
Just
still make
thinking
tons of them.
about it.
Tons of them.
Now we make.
And we
them
make our
now.
own burgundy rub too. Whatever, we make our own spice for it. It's great. So he walked over. He's like, "Here's how you do it." He was like all proud of himself, and this is how he was going to do it. And the fryer was on. It was ripping right. And he's holding the mandolin, and he's holding the potato over the fryer. And if you see the visual,
That's what I was trying to.
a mandolin is a slicer, right? It's like a handheld slicer, right? So here's for the YouTube fans, and he's slicing the potato right over the.
No, he's not.
He's like, oh, you do this right over the fryer. You can do it to order, and just took off the top of his thumb into the fryer.
And that, for those that don't know, like a mandolin is like.
Razor. It's a razor blade.
Straight blade though. Like it's so
It's a straight
sharp.
razor blade.
I hate it.
Shocking, and
I
it
hate
fully took off the pad of his thumb pad, into the fryer.
Oh,
And I don't know, also, if you don't know this, but fingers, appendages, things like on the extremities of your body bleed a lot.
and so your heart
and spurt a lot.
the more rigid,
Pulsates.
frantic you are. it
Oh, your
pulses.
thumb!
Pulsates
I
out.
mean, it was going everywhere. Grabbed a couple rags, wrapped it up. It's his face.
I mean,
is
it's
flushing.
The fryer must be done at this point though.
Yeah.
Dude,
Did you put more chips in it? You just kept going.
It took.
Special seasoning.
It took
That's
this
the
poor
new
guy-
burgundy, bro.
He didn't go to the hospital, right? He just continued to wrap it and like
Yeah, you duct tape it.
duct taped it, wrapped it, which I've definitely duct taped. It took, I think, like 6 weeks till he could use his thumb again, like function with it, and it stopped bleeding because he was just stubborn and wouldn't go, and he just worked through it.
Yeah, now that you said that, I've seen, my share of cuts and, severed fingers, like not severed like completely off, but you could see the muscle
Like
down to the white, to the white.
You see that?
Yeah, the worst
bone.
part about that story is I had to clean the effing fryer afterwards. Thanks a lot, Tom.
And did you
Shoemaker.
recover the tip of the finger? Or did it
No, that probably shriveled up so quick. Someone ate it.
It's
with
deep
their
fried.
sandwich.
Somebody ate it with
That's
their
a new chip.
No, I had to clean the fryer then right away.
How does blood react in a fryer though?
I don't know. Probably sizzled. I don't know. I was young, so it was shocking to see. And to watch someone do that, like it's, you get that jerk reaction where you're like,
Yeah,
oh my God.
now that
it shivers you. And then I'm like, and then I don't know what to do. And it's just, you're reaching for rags and there's blood shooting everywhere. And I started thinking about all the work I'm going to have to do after this, dude. Now, it was ugly. I've seen a couple of thumbs, another one in culinary school where the girl didn't know what to do. She cut her thumb. So, she laid her thumb open. I was a teacher, an instructor, she was a student, and then I hear the commotion in the other room, and she was running across the room holding her thumb out, like this, not covering her thumb, but holding her thumb out, like
that's it.
gripping the base, gripping the base of it.
When
like
you walk in and you're
literally turned into a hose. When I walked in, it was like a crime scene. There are kids like in shock and awe, covered, blood dripping down their face because they don't know what to do. They're just like, oh,
Yeah, it's brutal.
Watching, and she's running across the room to get to the sink.
No fainting.
She did not faint. No, none of the kids.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, fainting. No, and just spraying like a spray paint can, everywhere.
Oof. So, dude, I don't know. Yeah, why stocks, bro? You don't get your knife. You don't drink and party all night and do coke, and then you don't get to cut your fingers off.
But hold on. What's his name? Belford. Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
they party.
Oh, they did.
They party.
That was a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I'm sure they still do, but
era,
that's a different
era.
that's a whole different subject. And I'm talking more,
Right. Were you
home trading.
Do you think you were gearing up? Well, you were. 'Cause I know you started the trading when you were here.
Yeah.
Was the pandemic start or was pre-pandemic? So
Pre-pandemic.
So you kind of were you were ready for you were ready to take another.
I didn't think it was gonna get, consume my life. Not consume my life, but be number one, breadwinner.
Oh, so it would be like hey, I'm gonna work in a restaurant and do a little side.
I thought it was gonna be a little side thing. I go home and trade for a couple hours, whatever it was. And then like we said, when we parted ways, I didn't want to do anymore.
Did the pandemic, was that a big piece of that?
With the pandemic, like the whole, like we said, the pandemic was a lot. We were stretched thin here. Me and just, looked at each other sometimes and we're just like, how are we doing this? At the end of shifts, we would sit there and we wouldn't even drive home yet. We needed to take a breather sometimes. And looking back now, I'm like, how did I do that? Like, all of us.
Right.
The beginning of the pandemic really, touched homes, literally.
Yeah.
Because it changed people's lives. Either, you go to another restaurant or, you find something new or, you do what I do. You invest in yourself.
And I think
Plus
that
it was
tons
scary
of people.
too. Plus it was
scary.
scary.
Yeah, back in the
to
day.
not know what the hell was going on.
See, that's why this industry boomed during the pandemic. Because no one wanted to go out.
Right.
You run to the supermarket, but you don't want to sit in a, not that you don't want to sit in a restaurant and go to work, and but they were scared back then.
And you can trade and you do, correct? You trade from home.
I could trade from home. I could trade from, I could sit here right now and trade. I could trade off my phone or
make yourself some money while podcasting.
Yeah,
boy. Look at you.
do a couple trades right now.
What's your favorite part of it? What's your favorite part of the trading?
There's a rush that you get that when you see it. You go from the negative, you going from the red into the blue, and you're like, oh, $50, $100, $1,000. Oh, it's going up there. Yeah, keep going. But that was in the beginning, and because your mindset plays a lot, and greed is always our number one enemy. Always. That's everybody in life, though. Because
Yeah, you're very right. It's true. Greed is.
It's
power.
Yeah, it empowers you. Because you always want more, but in this industry, if you're not smart, then banks will take your money.
Right,
Because the banks control the markets. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. Now, you put, $50,000 in the bank, and then you want to go the next day to withdraw it. What are they going to tell you? They're going to tell you no, because they got to go get it.
Right.
Yeah, they got to go get it from the market. They're taking your money and investing it in the market.
Making more of their own money.
It's a $7.7 trillion business.
Can I just get a percent of that?
Fuck.
7.7
You
trillion.
need a 0.5%, a fraction of a percent.
Yeah.
A fraction of a percent.
Of a trillion.
But now, isn't it scary though? Or like, what about when?
Yeah,
what
late.
about-
We're in late January right now, filming 2022, and there's a lot of red happening right now. Unfortunately,
Is there? Or is there a lot of buying opportunity?
yeah, right. Well, and I am going to actually buy next week, but yes, there is. But for current investments, seeing that red is always.
Now, what are you trading or investing in?
We have a very very conservative S&P account right now, so you just watch
And
that.
that correction hurt you the other day. Huh?
Yeah, so it's just it's all kind of negative, but we're not heavy in it. It's a long-term investment.
Yeah.
So the S&P historically is green.
See, and it has been for how long? And that's why
Since
everybody
the beginning
flipped
of
out
it.
the other day when
Right.
it went on its correction. But, just like the restaurant industry, you have, within a year, you have your good months and you have bad months that, you pull back and sit back and you're like, oh, I got to, and then you keep going into good months, right? Market's the same way. It has good days and it has its bad days, and, it comes. And if you're not prepared, it'll wipe you dry.
Oh,
Yeah, it can take you out real quick.
07, 08, right? The last crash.
No,
Eight.
there was
There's one in between though.
17. I think it was 17. There was a crash? When was the real estate crash?
2008.
2008. The major crash.
I think it was 2017. There was a market
Like an
crash.
adjustment?
Yeah,
Okay.
they call it a correction. Not even a correction. That was just a crash. But like right now, the market's in a correction. It's they call it the emotions of the market. It goes up. You're hyped and euphoria is hidden, and you're like, oh man, I'm about to be a trillionaire. And if you're holding, well, there's a lot of people that also get FOMO, fear of missing out. So they buy in at the wrong time.
Dude, there's a commercial out right now. This guy, I'm sure you've all seen it, sitting on his phone, and he goes, oh, I'm a millionaire. The next scene is him like partying at the club. Right? There's bottles everywhere. And he looks at his phone and he goes, oh, I'm not a millionaire.
Oh yeah, because it goes.
And then he's sitting on his couch and he goes, oh, I'm a millionaire. And then he's like on a yacht somewhere. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Is it a trading? It's a trading.
I'm not a millionaire. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember what the company
Probably a
is.
TikTok. There's so many TikToks out too, but yeah, it goes up and down, and it's called the emotions of the market. You can Google it right now, and it goes up. So many people buying at the wrong time, FOMO, and when that market takes, shout out to Anne, she calls it the roller coaster, because it gets to the top, and it's got to come back. What goes up comes back down.
Always.
But it's a cycle. It's just the market cycle.
Where do you see yourself? Give me a 5-year, give me a 10-year, give me a 20-year.
Oh, sitting on a yacht somewhere, just enjoying life. So that's I said it before. I think we were talking about it. That's all we have is our lives. And especially in the pandemic, it got scary. It got real scary. Like, what do you? If God forbid, knock on wood, everything stops right now. What do you have? Say the doors close right now in the restaurant. What do you have?
Family.
Ooh.
Family, but can it keep you going?
No.
Like how many?
I had to
how
close
many?
it?
Yeah, and stay in your savings account, which you shouldn't have a savings account today.
Right. I would say I could probably survive. Oh boy, I have to cut some stuff out. A couple months, 6 months.
Now,
Without any additional income?
I could do 6 months.
that's not bad because a lot of people are usually like maybe a month.
No, I could do more.
I'm pretty fortunate. I could probably go a year.
A year.
But you have other investments also. You still have like houses and stuff like that.
No, I sold the house.
Did you?
Yeah, finally
Damn, I wish I
sold
would
it.
have known. I would have bought that.
Yeah, it's got to be a hands-on person kind of. I didn't. That was not my hands-on opportunity. We're looking at other investments. I actually have maybe an investment meeting at 2 o'clock. So we're gonna have to wrap this up here soon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that time went fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're already at 35.
Might talk about another business venture with someone, something small, a passion project. But yeah, I'm actually gonna get into crypto. I think a little bit. Talk to my investor.
Crypto's a new game.
Yeah, it's scary though because there's no backing behind it. It's so like nobody takes it as currency. Very very few.
Well, it's coming out a lot more.
It will, and
look,
maybe
like at all the stores,
a lot of athletes.
You can buy Bitcoin.
The athletes are
Yeah,
now.
maybe it's not. It's just not mainstream yet. And the problem is, it's so volatile. I mean, can you imagine paying for something with like a Bitcoin for when it was $60,000, paying for a Bitcoin? Okay, great. Oh, thanks. You paid me $60,000 in a Bitcoin, and next week your Bitcoin's worth 40,000. So the receiver of the funds just lost $20,000. Now it could go the other way too, but that's what makes it tough because it's so volatile.
Yeah,
So for backing that,
the charts are just, it's going through the roof.
Do you trade every day? Do you trade 5 days a week, 4 days a week?
You can trade 5 to 7 days a week. The foreign exchange market's open 5. The crypto game is open 7, 24 hours a day.
How often? Do you just kind of does it change every week? You're like, I'm going to trade right now. I feel like.
I mean, you should have a set schedule because then you get used to the market at that time.
Okay.
But there's days that you don't catch nothing, so you got to come back the next day. Real investors, real traders, you trade 2 to 3 times a week, and you're happy with what you got, and not happy with what you got because obviously we always want more. Greed is our number one enemy.
That's right.
So, but you're setting yourself up for your vision of the future. You got to have that mindset because if, and that was the biggest thing when I, especially when I left here, I worked on my mindset. Entrepreneurs, we go from having a paycheck to entrepreneurs, 2 different things. I'm sure you guys understand that because you restaurant owners, same way. There's a lot of difference between getting a paycheck from someone and owning something. I want to own
assets.
Things. Yeah.
Yep.
I want to own yachts. I want to own, look at Grant Cardone. He's going on a second jet. Right off at that.
Do you want a jet?
No.
Or
no,
you want a yacht?
Effort. No.
I want a yacht.
No.
For sure.
To own a yacht? No. You very well may.
But that's the thing. I'm going to own a yacht and rent it out.
Okay.
Investment
opportunity.
I go out to the islands for the weekend.
And then maybe Lyman will,
I'd
his
like
favorite
to just
show.
Below Deck.
He can
I heard that. I actually like that show.
I love Below Deck.
Good gentlemen, come on.
I would like to just have enough money that I can just go and rent a yacht for a week and not worry about the maintenance, not worry about the crew.
You're going to rent my yacht.
Fine, great.
Boom.
See, I'm going to buy a yacht, and then that week
Does Lyman get a
weekend,
discount? Does Lyman get a charge?
But you got to think about it. That week or
5%
weekend,
discount.
you're going to pay basically, half my yacht for the month.
For the year. Yeah,
Whatever
that's why
it is.
I want to get a shore house so that I can go to a shore house whenever I want, and then for the month of July, Airbnb it and pay for half the year in 1 month.
That's the same thing with like right now that I also do. We do Turo. We rent out the cars. If I know I'm going to stay home for a week, put your car on Turo. You're making an extra stream of income.
Never even heard of this. You mean your personal car?
Yeah, you can rent out your Enterprise is going to be nothing in a couple of years because there's apps
I can rent out
there.
the caddy, the
You
gentleman's car.
You can rent out.
How much can I rent my caddy for a week?
I mean, it's more by the day because there's some people that just need it for a day trip. Oh, I got to go to New York. You don't.
Okay, how much can I rent it for a day?
Probably at least I want to say $60, $50.
Oh man, I don't know if that's worth it.
But you got to think if they take you for a week, how much does your caddy cost for the month?
$490.
All right, so if they take it for a week, what's 7 times?
Yeah, sure.
$50?
If I was renting it,
Sure,
yeah,
$350.
$350.
So then you have the other 3 weeks that you don't. It's paid already.
I've never even heard of this. Have you heard of this?
See, the investment game
No,
is.
but if you want to rent my caddy, I got you. $75 a day.
Look, even Airbnb. Airbnb is the same thing. You own a house.
You don't live. You're going to be away from your house just to have somebody else live
But
there for a while.
there's co-hosting, so you don't even have to own the home to rent it to Airbnb it out. You just take the risk. Basically, it's like a management group. You're co-hosting. You take care of the cleaning. You take care of who's going in and out, who's renting it, and you get a percentage from the person's Airbnb.
And I heard a story of a dude who Airbnb'd a house for like a month, and then sub Airbnb'd it out to other people to come live, and like made like
Well, I'm sure
$3,000 or $4,000 that month So basically, he went to the Airbnb for $100 a night, and then he rented it out for $150 a night for like a month, and just made bank.
Brilliant.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's investment idea, like opportunities.
That's a little bit scammy, though. I mean, that's kind of like leeching a little bit.
A little bit. But
that's there's people that scam, and that's why this industry is having such a bad and scary name, because there is scammers.
Yeah, there's a lot going on,
but that's because it works. The scammers see that it works.
Right.
Look at how many calls you get from a call center in India. Then they're saying, "Oh, we're One Main Financial, and we're going to give you a loan," and a lot of people fall for it.
Perfect. I'll take a loan.
Yeah.
You're
not getting a loan from them.
1%.
One that I don't have to pay it back.
So 2021. Tell us, how much money do you think you made? Ballpark.
It doesn't have to be
It was close to six figures. I want to say at least 80K.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you put the work in, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't want any gold diggers.
Nah, no gold diggers.
Do you just pull out money when you need to spend it, or do you like budget and like draw like a dividend monthly?
You really want to pay yourself, obviously, just so you get into that.
You said you do or you don't?
You do.
You do, yes.
You do, yeah. You want to pull out your profits, because you don't know what the market's going to do.
So you kind of have a thought in your mind, hey, every week or bi-weekly, however, whatever.
I want to pull
every
out
week. I'm going to pull out
2,000,
this
10,000, whatever it is.
That's your number, and then you try to keep that, because then that was a good question, because I was thinking to myself, how the hell do you know how you can live?
No, you got to budget. It's like anything, you have to balance.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you're pulling every week. Every week I'm comfortable with 2,000.
But that's the same thing with the restaurant industry.
Right.
You know how much you got to do for for paychecks.
Sure.
You know how much you got to the food costing.
Right.
And it's all a numbers game.
Right.
It's the same thing, but you're doing it yourself.
And you touched on something really quickly, and I want to just touch on it again before we start wrapping up here. But listening to someone, we're hitting that. We're
we
going
got
to hit
about
that
5 minutes.
50.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
5
got about
minutes.
5 minutes.
Listening to someone about investing, about money and financials and personal financials, and the one thing that you said is right. You do savings is.
You shouldn't have savings.
You should not have
Very
savings.
stupid.
Right?
Even there making 0.1% for a year, if whatever it is. I don't do it no more. So
you need to accumulate. If you want to be successful financially, you need to accumulate assets, whether that's financial portfolios, whether it's a really nice hot tub, whether it's a house, whether it's 2 houses, a rental unit, whether it's having a couple vehicles that are paid off. Those are assets, right? Versus your liabilities, which is your mortgage, your phone bill, those kind of things. That saving money is really, not to offend anyone.
There's no more
stupid.
Rainy day no more.
It's stupid.
It is a rainy day already.
We're in the fucking rainy day.
I do have an emergency savings account, but I've hit that number. I finally got to a number where I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable with this, and I will not put anything else in it ever. If I had to just pull
That's the
money from
emergency.
that right on the spot to pay for something, I would. But that won't change.
That's because you're a homeowner, though. That's a little.
That's
different.
right. There's,
and obviously you don't want to have all your money sitting somewhere else because
right. We also
like
have five vehicles in our fleet of vehicles that the shop pays for and personal and things like that. Eric and I are so connected that we basically have like 2 families that we sort of take care of each other.
Joint.
So that's it.
Well, you have 2 families each.
I
got a side family over
Don't
here.
tell our wives.
Side family.
So yeah, that's right. Right. Don't save your money. Spend it. And you know why? This guy, I wish I knew his name because I love listening to him. They just make more money. They keep printing money. Here's the secret's out. They keep printing money.
Yeah, and that's why the dollar
spend
goes.
your money.
Right. I've been telling Lyman that for 9
Create
years.
memories, make experiences, spend your money, buy assets.
Yeah, spend your money wisely.
No. I'm not saying
to the grand view.
Yeah, I'm not saying right. I'm not saying that. Oh yeah, of course it is,
dude.
We were there yesterday for lunch.
Amateur Tuesday, lunch for lunch.
It was amateur Wednesday. First Wednesday every month.
Yeah, $7 steak dinner.
Yeah, can you imagine the talent at 1 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon for the $7.99 prime rib?
Oh, God. Coming to the stage, Misty.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going, dude. Now I want a steak in a strip club. Actually,
now you're thinking about a strip
You know, as
strip club
soon-
steak.
a strip steak.
As soon as this
Special
comes
sauce.
out, your wives are gonna call you. What were you thinking?
You just hope they stop at 32 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh, this got
they're
boring.
not
They started
listening.
talking about
they're not
investing.
listening.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's it. Spend your money on good things. Create memories with your family and your friends. Invest in assets, and don't save your money. They keep printing it now. To pay for things, you earn money to pay for things that you do, right? But invest all that money.
Yeah, man, do it.
That's why
Spend
wouldn't
wisely.
I put my money somewhere that I want to go out to eat? Oh, I'll pull it out a little. Like I could go in my wallet right now and pull out a crypto credit card. Simple, you know. And I still have money being made in there.
What to wrap it up is what's your Insta? Let's throw out your Insta so people can kind of see what you do and maybe connect with you.
_official Ruben 1.
Boom. That's kind of the way like anybody who's listening says, hey, I want to know a little bit about
official
this.
_ Ruben RUBEN
RUBEN.
the number one.
I mean, you can drop it in the comments or something like that, right?
Yeah. I'll put it in the comments.
All right.
I'll put it on the YouTube.
Last touch on food. Favorite your dying meal?
Oh, filet mignon,
Oh, really? Straight up.
What are the sides?
truffle mash,
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
or even a truffle.
You fancy
roast
ass.
pussy, Yeah,
You fancy
I'm,
ass.
I'm a real truffle guy. That's why when you said mushrooms for the mushroom.
Oh, we're gonna have all
Yeah.
kinds of mushrooms.
mushrooms and meat. What is it?
Well, one is a mushroom dinner, and then a month later is a
meat dinner.
Meat dinner. Meet
Yeah.
the butcher. The butcher
So
will be here.
it's
Find-
mushrooms, meat, and crypto.
That's right.
Mushrooms, meat.
Yeah,
just,
that was the
just
title for today.
find a little lady.
Filet
bring her,
mignon.
bring her on over. Bring a guy friend. whatever.
Temperature on the steak?
Oh, medium rare.
Medium rare.
Yeah,
Must
A
be.
traditional.
yeah.
Medium rare fillet,
Is that
truffle mash.
traditional or is that?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the majority.
that's what it should be.
That's what I
Yeah.
would say. If we sell 100 steaks, I'd say 70 are medium rare.
And you always get those people butterfly well done.
Butterfly, well done. Wait, whatever. They spend the same
They
amount of money.
do, but it's annoying.
No,
Like,
you
I'm a
should charge
flake
them
at you.
extra for that.
You should, right?
Yeah.
Or just
The
Yeah, I
time
mean,
it
it's
takes
costing
my
just
more
time.
try to
time.
chop them
It's
in the
costing more
throat or
time, so
something. That's
time
true.
is money.
Yeah, more gas, right?
Well, Ruben, you rock, dude.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you.
Come back anytime. Come back and eat though. Come back and well, I'll have a drink. You can have a club soda.
Oh, didn't I win a gift card a couple weeks
Oh,
ago?
you
I think you did. Did you pick it up? Did you ever
No,
pick it up?
I never picked it up.
What was it?
I was
Well, look
been
at
on
that.
the run. Like it's.
So you have to
Heard.
bring it up and send it. To, I don't even know what it is.
We'll find it and then give you a gift card. Come out and eat.
yeah,
you go.
definitely.
Dude, you rock.
Thank
Anybody
you.
check out Ruben's Instagram. We'll be back with more weird, wild, wacky restaurant.
Oh, you got to do the
rawness.
tagline.
Ciao, man. You remember the tagline?
The good, the bad, the
The restaurant business,
served
served raw. We love you.